Okay, so we continue with the pumping of heart. Okay, pumping of the heart. Okay, the contraction of the heart is initiated and coordinated by the pacemaker. The pacemaker is a group of specific heart muscle cells that initiates the rate of heart contraction and is located at the right atrium wall. Okay, the pacemaker generates electrical impulses that separate rapidly through both walls of the atrium and causes the atrium to contract rhythmically. The main pacemaker is called sinoatrial node or SA. The sequence of heart muscle contraction that causes the pumping is shown in figure 10.14. So actually the pumping of the heart starts with by the pacemaker. So the pacemaker is a group of specific heart muscle cells that initiate the rate of heart contraction and is located at the right atrium wall. So this pacemaker located at the right atrium wall. This is right atrium, right? Right atrium wall. So this is the main pacemaker is known as sinoatrial node. So this is the main pacemaker. What this main pacemaker do? It will generate electrical impulse that spread rapidly through both walls of the atrium and causes the atrium to contract rhythmically. So that's why the heartbeat actually no need to get impulse from the nervous system, because this heart actually have the pacemaker that can generate electrical impulse. Can generate the electrical impulse by themselves, by itself lah, the pacemaker. So the impulse actually come from this pacemaker that make the cardiac muscle to contract and relax. So they don't have to wait for the impulse from the nervous system because of this pacemaker. So the pacemaker can generate electrical impulse. That will separate rapidly through both walls of the atrium and it cause the atrium to contract rhythmically. So I will explain later lah how this process occur. So you must remember the main pacemaker is known as sinoatrial nodes and location is at the right atrium wall. So the heartbeat will start from here lah. The pumping of heart will start from here lah, from the right atrium. Okay, so the sequences, let us read first, then I will explain by using the diagram lah. Okay, we read first the sequence. The first is the sinoatrial node SA generates electrical impulse. Number 1. Number 2, electrical impulse spread rapidly in both the atria, causing the atria to contract simultaneously. The contraction of the atria helps to pump blood into the ventricles. Okay, this is number 2. Okay, you must see here, this is the location of SA here, and then this one the atrioventricular node, also involved later. I will explain. And then, number 3, the electrical impulse reach the atrioventricular node. The electrical impulse spread through the bundle of his and the Purkinje fibers up to the apex of the heart. So this is apex of the heart, and then we have Purkinje fibers. So please, correct the label. Purkinje fibers is actually the blue color here, not the orange color. The blue color. Please correct your labels in the textbook. And then also we have the bundle of his. The bundle of his connected to the atrioventricular node. Okay, and then the number 4, the electrical impulse spread from the apex of the heart to the whole ventricle wall. As a result, the ventricles contract to pump blood out to the lungs and body. So from this reading, you can see that actually the first atria will contract, then ventricle will contract, okay, to pump the blood. Okay, so let us go one by one to go through the diagram. Okay, I will first erase this first. Okay, we make the diagram bigger. Okay, big. Okay, a bit here. Make it bigger more. Easy for me to. Okay, make it bigger. Okay, so we continue. Okay, we start with this first one. Okay, sinoatrial nodes. Okay, so sinoatrial nodes actually function to what? To generate impulse, right? So it will start here. Sinoatrial nodes will generates in electrical impulse. Okay, this is the first one. It will generate the electrical impulse. So maybe I should use the color lah to show the impulse. So the impulse is this one lah, the black color show the impulse produced by the sinoatrial nodes. Okay, later this electrical impulse, okay, will spread rapidly to in both the atria. So it will spread here in the both atria, here and also here. So this left atrium also will get the impulse. So because the impulse will spread rapidly to the both atria. So this is number 2. What happened? The electrical impulse, I'll just write it like this, spread rapidly in both atria. So this one number 2. So from the right atrium, the impulse will spread rapidly into the left atrium. So to the both atrium. Okay. So next, what happened? Okay, we move on to the next diagram. Okay, wait. Okay. Next diagram here. Okay. Okay, so the impulse spread rapidly to the both atria. So I just draw back the impulse. So this is all the impulse. Okay, rapidly. Okay, to the both atria. And then this make the, what happened? Causing the atria to contract. So both atria will contract. Simultaneously. The word simultaneously means at the same time. So the both atria will contract at the same time. So this action, what happened? The contraction of the atria helps to pump blood into the ventricle. So you still remember, here we have the blood, right, inside here. What type of blood? Let's say you have the oxygenated blood, right? Here will be pumped to the ventricle. Okay, at the same time here, the blood from this also, right atrium, will be pumped into the ventricle. So this actually action occurs simultaneously. When the both atria contract, the blood will pump from the atria to the ventricle. And usually when the blood pump, actually this this valve will close lah, like this, right after the pump blood. Okay, so this is what happened lah. This is how the blood can flow from the atrium to the ventricle. Okay, when the atria contract, both atria contract. Okay, and then here you can see that we have the atrioventricular node. Okay, I make below here. Wait, so what happened next is that, okay, I need to show the impulse. Okay, the electrical impulse reach the atrioventricular node. So from this atrium actually, okay, the impulse will reach to the atrioventricular nodes. So next is that number 3, right? Number 4, right? So number 4 here, the electrical impulse reach the atrioventricular nodes. This is what happened lah, the movement of the impulse from the atria, then it will move to the atrioventricular node. Okay, and near actually in between of the atrium and ventricle, right atrium and right ventricle. So also known as AV node. Okay, so next what happened? The electrical impulse will spread through the bundle of his and the Purkinje fibers up to the apex of the heart. So this come to the another diagram here. Okay, let us move to another diagram. Here, below here, right? This one. Okay, so we have the apex of the heart, we have the Purkinje fibers, bundle of his. So apex of heart is this part of the heart lah. Okay, so the impulse from this AV will reach to the bundle of his that connected to the atrioventricular and then spread to the Purkinje fiber here. And to the apex of the heart. So that's why I want you to correct the label. So the label Purkinje fiber is at the blue one here, not here. Okay, at the blue one. Okay, so Purkinje fibers up to the apex of the heart. So this apex of the heart also will receive the impulse. Now, okay, so this is number 5, right? So the electrical impulse spread, okay, the electrical impulse spread through the bundle of his and Purkinje fiber, okay, fibers, okay, up to the apex of the heart. This one lah. So this is next. Okay, what happened next? Okay, move on to the next diagram. Okay, you can see here. Here. So what happened when the electrical reach or spread from the apex of the heart? It will spread to the whole ventricle. From here, the impulse will spread to whole ventricles. Okay, the whole ventricles. Okay, and then as a result, the ventricles contract to pump blood out to the lungs and body. So as a number 7 here, what happened? The electrical impulse, okay, spread from the apex of the heart to to the whole ventricle wall. So the impulse here will separate to the whole ventricle wall. So as a result, ventricle will contract. Number 8. The both ventricles will contract. Okay, and then to pump blood out to the lungs and body. So the blood from here, actually we have learned before this, right? The blood that flow here. So let's say we have this one, the color red right here. So all the blood here will flow up from the heart, okay, through the aorta, right? And then this one, the blood here will also flow from the ventricle to the lungs by pulmonary artery. This one to the lungs, this one to the body. Okay, so this is how the pump of the heart that make the blood circulate to all parts of the body, to the lungs and all parts of the body. Start with the atria by the impulse from the sinoatrial nodes. Okay, and then go to the atria. So the atria will contract. When the atria contract, actually it will pump the blood to the ventricles. Then at the same time, the impulse from the atrium will go to the atrioventricular node or AV, and then it will spread to the bundle of his and the Purkinje fiber to the apex of the heart. Then from the apex of the heart, the impulse also will spread to the ventricle wall. So this make the ventricle to contract and actually to pump blood out from the heart to the body and to the lungs. So this is how the pumping of heart works, to make sure the blood can flow out from the heart. This is helped by the pacemaker. Starting from the pacemaker, sinoatrial node. Okay, that can generate impulse that will spread through the right atrium and then to all parts of the heart later, then help to circulate the blood. Okay, if you have any question for this, you can ask me. Okay.